What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Aram with yet another donation to the channel via the PayPal. I saw your video request, and I will do a video on that topic very, very soon. All right, so salute to you for showing love, lover of the old school when it comes to the NBA. Well, NBA, you know what I'm saying, the NBA starts very soon. And that's a good thing for the most part for NBA fans. But tonight, we're going to talk about boxing. And there was a super bout that just concluded in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. And it featured two of the great fighters of the past decade, Terrence Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez coming into this fight had a record of 63 victories, 2 defeats, 2 draws, with 39 victories coming by way of knockout. Terrence Bud Crawford was undefeated, 41-0 with 31 knockouts. Now, of course, Terrence Bud Crawford is the smaller fighter, moving up in weight, having once fought at, I think he started off at lightweight. So he moved up to super middleweight. And at fight night, I was a little bit shocked that he weighed 167. I think 167 and a half, I believe it was. Canelo was around 167 and a half or 167 as well. And I was of the opinion that Bud probably should weigh more around 160, 161 or something. But whatever the case may be, you know, I feared that Bud, may not have the best stamina as far as going the distance in this fight. And I also feared that Canelo's punching power may be a little bit too much for him to deal with. Those are my fears. Because I am and was openly rooting for Bud. And ain't a damn thing. I don't care what nobody thinks. I was rooting for Bud to win this fight. Although I will always try to be fair, that don't mean I don't have my biases when I'm rooting for certain fights. But I didn't anticipate what I saw in this fight. I was of the opinion that Bud would have to, for the most part, display excellent boxing skills, stick and move, you know what I'm saying, parry punches, watch out for Canelo's right hand of doom, and, you know what I'm saying, try to prevent Canelo from cutting the ring off, which is what he was going to try to do, and, you know, pressure Bud. And I thought that Canelo would be the guy that would be the one that's pressuring the whole fight, the one to be the aggressor the entire fight. And I just thought that Bud could outbox him, stay away, don't engage. That's what I was thinking. Bud said, fuck that. You know, he started off every round. He was the aggressor, except for a few rounds in the you know, down the stretch, maybe I think 11 or 12, where Canelo, because of desperation, became the aggressor. But for the most part, the first 9 or 10 rounds, Bud was the aggressor. And that kind of told me something, that Bud was not there. And I'm pretty sure he was a little bit hesitant because he wanted to just make sure that he could, you know, deal with Canelo's power. But once he felt like he could deal with it, he could, you know, deal with and withstand his power, he became the aggressor. And one of the things that was shocking to me was, for a guy that everyone says is not best at engaging inside, for the most part, Bud won this bout mostly from winning the fight from inside, from engaging up close. He was beating Canelo to the punch. Canelo, now look, Bud, you know, power to Canelo wasn't going to knock him out per se, but he did hurt him. He knocked him off balance a couple of times. And he clearly, because of his, you know, unpredictable fighting style and because of his elusiveness, he was giving Canelo fits to the point where Canelo was clearly frustrated by the latter part of this fight. And, me personally, I thought the scorecards were bullshit. I thought that Canelo won at best 2 rounds. At best 2. And you can make an argument that Bud won every round, maybe just lost 1. I thought that Canelo did enough I thought Canelo did enough to win. I think it was the 4th round. And I think I gave Canelo the 10th round or one of those later rounds. I gave Canelo 2 rounds. That's it. Every other round, I gave Bud. And Bud won of the 10 rounds that I gave him, 6 of them were blowouts. Another one was dominant. The other 2 were sort of close. So this was not a close fight at all. You know what I'm saying? And when I listen to some of those scorecards, the margins of the scoring tells me that they were going to try to fuck Bud. If Bud didn't go out there and dominate those last 2 rounds, they were going to try to fuck him. They were going to try to fuck him, man. So I'm glad he went out there and fought aggressively. One other thing I want to say before I end this video, a couple other things. Netflix's announcing team was horrible. Max Kellerman might as well have been having pom-poms with a Canelo Alvarez jersey. And the whole fight, they kept trying to sell you on, the imminent doom that Bud was in. Even though what he was doing was a winning strategy, they kept trying to sell you on the idea that Bud was almost doomed to get knocked the hell out, And, it's just whatever. It's just ridiculous, man. Canelo's a great fighter, man. I don't have anything against him, but it's just, I really hate listening to the announcement team with a lot of these fights, man. That's why I turn the TV down, or I'll listen to, other people who are not as biased, call the fight or whatever. But, man, I'm just shocked, man, because Bud is the smaller guy. Bud was the boxer. Canelo was the guy that people were talking about, the power difference. So now for him to engage with him, show that this guy has no fear. He feel like he can engage with anybody. I was shocked by the performance that Bud Crawford put on tonight. Clearly, now he is the best fighter of his generation. And from a historical standpoint, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, but man, I think you got to put Bud right now. Well, first of all, he's clearly greater than Floyd Mayweather because he's not picking and choosing, number one. He's taking risk. And not only did he take a risk, he went out there and engaged. He didn't. There's nothing wrong with being a boxer. There's nothing wrong being a defensive fighter. But Bud went out there and engaged. My brother 78 put it beautifully. He said Bud was like a dog out there. He got a dog in him. And some fighters don't have that. Some fighters are infinitely skilled, but not everybody got the dog in them. Muhammad Ali was a boxer, per se, right? But he had the dog in him. He gonna engage with anybody. He knew that he couldn't fuck with Ernie Shavers power punching wise, but you don't tell him that. He gonna engage with you. Evander Holyfield, he had the dog in him. Mike Tyson, even though sometimes mentally he could be in and out of fights, but when he was going, he had the dog in him. Not everybody has that. Rocky Marciano. So this was a historic performance, man. I think Bud is top 10 all time in my book. I don't want to be too much of a prisoner of the moment, but right now, I'll have him top 10 all time. I mean, all time. He's a top 10 all time fighter. And it ain't just because he has the zero in the loss column. It's because of who he's fighting and how he's making them look. But you know, the haters are going to come out and they're going to make excuses. Now all of a sudden, Canelo is old. Now all of a sudden, they're going to say Bud is using, he's going to have to get checked. And that's what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? The haters are going to come out and make their lame ass excuses because that's what they do. You know? But anyway, salute to Bud. Tell what you guys think.